everybody. It has been a second. Welcome back to Itaewon by Night. Welcome to Arc 2 of Episode 6. Arc 2 of the show, Episode 6. Meet us after the break for Going Crit RPG announcements, but as a reminder, we still have a tip menu. So if you go down to the little About page, About section, we do have the donate button. $5 is a rouser roll. God knows everybody has really bad luck with that. A rouser roll allows our players to take the higher result. A $10 donation is a feeding opportunity to relieve a player of a little hunger. Again, we all have bad luck with that. So, and a $20 donation is a flashback in order to let players rewrite history in whatever way that we decide that means during the episode. Content warnings, our usual content warnings for the show, can be found by the Twitch command CW. And just for a general reminder as well, our usual content warnings for the show are substance use, emotional and memory manipulation, induced memory loss and infatuation, disappearances, historical themes of real-world war and colonization, and other dark themes. For today's episode, there will be some mention of historical real-world themes of war and such. Starting with me, intro-wise, I am Josephine. I am your storyteller. I use Nenshi pronouns. I am at Scary Dog Friend. And once again, I'm your storyteller. I'm going to pass it over to Youngles.
Hi, I'm Youngles. I missed you all last time. I was going to say last week, but it's been more than that. You can find me on Twitter at JenGeeky, and I have lots of things coming up, some in the future. So, yay! I play Wendy. She does stuff.
So true.
Yeah.
Hamna. Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_. And today I will be playing Cerise Shaheen, who uses they/them pronouns. And I'm just going to leave it at that for today. And I will pass it over to Jay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jay. I use they/them pronouns. And today I am playing Viridian Song, who uses they/she pronouns. Pass it to Fabs.
Hi, howdy. How's it going? Little today, but yeah, my name's Fabs. You can find me at Rockets and Pens. I do productions here. I'm playing Jet tonight. Yeah, a lot of shit happened last week. Anyway.
Speaking of that, let's get into the recap for last episode. Cerise gives the current senior inspector, Tang Eddie, a surprise visit. Eddie threatens Cerise with a good time, so to speak, by saying if Cerise wants to get any other information from her, they would have to pry it from her cold dead hands. Viridian gets a surprise visit from a powerful man from Busan, or more specifically, one of her many lovers, Sudi, giving Viridian a much-needed reprieve from herding cattle, so to speak. After cutting off a drug pusher named Kevin, who falsifies Jet's sparkle drug, Jet successfully synthesizes the bloodroot. A reminder, bloodroot, otherwise known as the fairy goblin fruit, used as a tempting narcotic against vampires, and more specifically an unknowing and hungry Cerise, which then, of course, led to the famous incident of biting into the exsanguinated heart of Kim Kang-min, who, by the way, remains in Viridian's corpse cellar. Jet is visited by Natalie, the violinist busker, who hasn't gotten blood from Jet recently. Cerise gets rejected by Viridian after a usually scheduled date night. Being turned away, Cerise finds themselves at Jet's laboratory, interrupting Natalie and Jet's visit. A few moments later, Jet asks Cerise if what is happening between them is real. Before Cerise feeds on Jet, transferring over their hunger once again, Jet, at hunger 5, then goes back into the city and diablerizes Kevin. More on that later. Give me one moment. Okay. Before we get back into the present day, a little sneak peek into the past. It's the 80s in America, Boston. The handsome Air Force Base is currently undergoing construction again, but with a $7.3 million contract for new facilities. A little fun note, the current inflation rate for that sort of cost would be $25 million. Base personnel would eventually be getting medical facilities and family support centers, even dental. One of the residents on base is home to the Beavers, a newly married young couple having settled in from a trip abroad. That tiny little peninsula who, bless their hearts, needs the joy, blessings, and help from God to help them on the path to democratization. A sonic boombox broadcasts international news. The young married man seems to be listening in on any last remaining news about the aftermath of the Gwangju uprising. Doing paperwork at his kitchen table, he has a dryer sheet rubber band fastened to an empty roll of toilet paper handy and a joint. Another young woman smokes in the living room. Hair recently bleached blonde, eyes glazed over with the sheer amount she's smoked already in the beginning. But this young woman is not this young man's wife. The young man's name being Theodore, or Ted Beaver, and the young woman's name being Maria. But Wendy, where do we find this man's wife?
Probably in the living room. I feel like they would just be sitting there, antsy, kind of bored, clearly, with their entire surroundings. And just kind of like watching whatever horrible news is on the television, trying to find some semblance of something exciting other than, you know, more protests and riots and the same old, same old.
Are you sitting next to or near Maria?
Probably, yeah.
There's been a bit of noticeable coldness between you and her lately. Often there are more softer, affectionate moments, but for her lately, especially now, her wake and bake having gone all the way into 3 p.m. at this point, she looks over at you with sort of this empty, strange expression before her nose crinkles a little bit, eyes once glazed a little watery, looks over to Ted. Can you please turn that off? Ted, who has seemingly been anxiously working on something, flipping through things, identifying different things at once and making sure that everything is cross-referenced perfectly, looks up from the kitchen table and goes, oh, yeah. This Ted being 40 years younger, 20, 40, I don't remember the math. Handsome, brown hair, the forehead, the wrinkle in his forehead, not necessarily as pronounced as it was, the beer gut, not fully there quite yet. A white American. He turns the boombox off. Sorry. It's getting a little confusing. They're saying that, they're suppressing that we had an involvement in the uprising. I've been trying to listen all morning to see if they would say anything about that, but I'm not sure why I thought.
They're not going to say that Americans had any involvement. Why would they? They're going to come back in like they always do and then just have us take the blame. You know what? I don't even know why we're talking about this right now. Honestly, I got you that information that you needed. You know, I don't know. Do I still need to be here? Can we go? Do you need?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you be around? There's gonna be a party tonight, where we're gonna meet some of our clients at that party. It's gonna be kind of weird and loud, but it's kind of the only place that we can meet, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. What time is it at?
But yeah, like 7, 8. I don't have full contact or details on where they'll touch down because they're driving in from kind of a ways in.
Okay.
He is like scrolling through something, gives you the address to an off-base residence where this party is. Yeah. If you need anything, obviously I gotta be here all day. There's some. I gotta keep listening to the news. There's gonna be. I'm gonna get some information coming in, and he stops talking and kind of does a very visibly guilty kind of expression, strange kind of head shake. Sorry, I need some more coffee or something, but I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. And Wendy will kind of look back over at Ted and like put their hand out for a 20 or something to try to get maybe I can get some snacks or
Oh, yeah, and then he's gonna give you a 50.
Cool. I'll bring you a coffee later. And then shoves it in her pocket, looks at Maria, is like, you ready? You want to go grab, like, I don't know, food or something? I mean, not like we need food now, but, we could lure people with food. We could do that. Maybe we could, I don't know. What do you want to do?
Maria, shaking her head, blinking, trying to get herself a little bit more conscious than she is. I mean, it'd be nice to go to the park. I don't know. Just not breathe, but breathe.
Yeah, because we don't have to do that anymore. Right. Cool. Yeah, let's go to the park. How about we stop and grab one of those like slushy things. I know I shouldn't drink them, but like they're fun to like squeeze in the cup, like that's a cool thing I like to do sometimes. And then like Wendy just kind of gets up and leaves the house and like goes to like grab Maria's hand.
Maria takes
and then like squeezes it and like pulls her along with her.
Are you walking or do you know how to drive at this point, Wendy?
Probably very know how to drive, do not like driving. So, walking.
Gotcha. With Maria in tow, still this very the adult sway that she has. I think you've been noticing she's been getting high a lot more often. She's been just sort of sitting around, bored. It's a little strange because even her holding your hand, even though you can't feel the warmth anymore necessarily, that doesn't mean that you don't feel this. Sometimes the pull or maybe desire to stop holding your hand to pull away, but her hand still remains in yours, maybe almost in a way that is less confrontational. But she walks with you, wordlessly for the moment.
So Wendy, like, is very, like, bright-eyed and very just like, yeah, whatever's going on over there is going on over there, and we're not there anymore, so we're fine, and is kind of trying to just, like, cheer up Maria, like very much like, oh, we could do this and we could do that and it doesn't matter, and like just starts going off on tangents of all these like big dreams that they have, and like how they like one of these days they're gonna like ditch Ted and run away and like not have to worry about you know, dealing with anybody else but themselves, and kind of just like daydreaming on.
At some point, depending on whether y'all find yourselves at the park or not, Maria stops walking, and I think sort of will lead you more towards a bench. Wendy, was this the right thing to do? Leaving?
And Wendy just like stops like mid probably like thought and is like, wait, what? What do you mean?
I mean, obviously we're safe. She looks around. We made all those documents so that we could leave and get here. But you know, we haven't talked about it because we just got here. Whatever. It's kind of fucked up that you and Ted just get to pretend to be married and I'm just there.
I mean, we're just pretending? That's the pretend part. The pretend. It's a key phrase, right? That word?
And I know. And maybe it's just the fact that it's all unfair and you and I can't even... I don't even know how much forging we're gonna have to get to maybe... And then Maria stops talking almost, and she kind of mutters to herself, God, I don't even know if you wanted to ever get married.
A Ted? No way. I mean,
no,
come on. That wasn't...
Not with Ted.
Oh, you mean to you? To you? Yes, of course, you mean to you. I mean, isn't that like a them people thing, like a straight people thing? Like we don't need that, do we? Do we need that? I mean, if you want that, sure, but like, can we even do that? Is that like allowed? I don't know if that's allowed, right? I don't know. Can we do that here?
I don't know either. I don't know either, Wendy. Everything is so wrong. And we're not even there. I mean, all of the orphans abandoned us. That's just, everyone scattered. They had to do what they had to do. They fucked us over, whatever. But we just sit here now and we fake documents and we help Ted with his weird black market shit that he gets to do.
I mean,
is this right?
Yeah, but babe, the world we were born into wasn't made right? That's why we became like this, right? Because it wasn't fair from the beginning. So, I mean, how else would we have gotten here? How else would we have gotten out of there?
I don't know, Wendy.
I mean, you can marry Ted. It's fine. Like, I'll fix the papers. Like, it doesn't matter to me. That's nothing. I thought this was what we wanted, right?
Do you think the problem is that I'm not married to Ted, or that on paper that I'm not the one with all of the, like, Wendy, we're not on the same page. It doesn't feel like we've ever been on the same page.
Okay. We just flew 18 hours across the world, and you tell me this right now. All right. So, like, what page are you on exactly?
I'm on the page where it's so much more comfortable for me to be high and not conscious while you and Ted get to actually do things and I have to stay home.
Okay. All right. And Wendy just like is completely taken aback by all of this, but at the same time seems very confused because it definitely doesn't seem like Maria's like, this is new for Maria in any way, shape, or form. This obviously seems to be something that's been happening for a while. So Wendy just kind of like sits down and is like, okay, well, I don't want to cry today because I have to work later, but what do I need to do to make you feel better? Like, how can I fix this? Like, I don't want you to be unhappy. I don't know what else to do. They were killing people over there. We couldn't stay there. We weren't even citizens. We couldn't even, like, get jobs. Here we can get jobs or something. We can do something. I can make papers for you. It'll be fine. I promise. Just don't, like... I don't have anyone else. I just have you. And if you're not happy, then maybe, I don't know, what else am I supposed to do?
And Maria nods and takes that into consideration as well, the words that you're saying. I know this is what we have to do. And I don't, obviously everything's unfair. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. But I think the first thing, I guess, that might help me a little bit. Can you get me a driver's license?
And Wendy just like was so tense and just like lets it all just like her body like visibly just like breathes without breathing and is like, that's all you want is a driver's license?
No, it's not all that I want, but there's something I've been seeing these meetings in the newspaper that I've been really interested in for a couple weeks at this point. It's at the church downtown.
I'm sorry. Did you say church?
Yeah, I said church.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, if that's what, you know, if that's gonna make you feel good, who am I to say that that's not something you should go do? That's right. And Wendy's obviously like cycling through the pattern, especially, you know, that stuff, and is like, okay, this is probably bad. No, I want to support you, baby. I will, whatever you want to do. So if you want a driver's license, I will get it for you. If you want to go to church, I will support that. Yes, yeah, whatever you need. And Wendy just starts like thinking about who they need to call to kind of like, you know, what papers they need to do. Maybe they can squeeze it in tonight in between going to the thing. And yeah, I can get you. When's the group thing? Do you want? Should someone come with you? I mean, I don't know if do you want to go by yourself?
You're not interested. I know that.
Not gonna lie about that. But I mean, if it's important to you, I can pretend to be straight. It's okay. You know?
That's not something I need you to do.
Okay, good, because I didn't really want to have to do that, thank God. Alright.
It's always on Sundays, is sort of the thing, I guess.
Yeah. Makes sense. Right?
I don't know. I don't know if Ted does anything with churches or anything like that, but if he wants to go, I don't care. I'm not gonna make you do anything. I think this is something that would help me clear my head a little bit.
Yeah. Is it one of those like Korean churches that have been popping up, or is it like just a off-base regular church thing?
I think it's off base. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry. Too many questions. Got it. Nope. Good. Okay. So like, okay, yeah. No, that should be fine. And Wendy just starts like, kind of thinking more about if it kind of also seems like Maria's like at an end with her, and so she's trying not to like show that like this is, so she's like, okay, well, do you still wanna grab food? Maybe I can bring you back to the house before I go to the job. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of awkward right now, so.
I think I'd like to be in the house while you and Ted are out. Just rest. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want me to bring you back anything?
There's a whole bunch of parameters about bringing people onto the base, isn't there?
I mean, yeah, but it's not like I haven't done it before.
All this construction is, I don't know. So much can just get by.
Yeah. I mean, people go missing, accidents happen. Like if you need something.
This is also wrong. Okay.
It's a lot, but you know what? We used to be royalty, you know? Like, our love wasn't just for everybody back in the day, so, you know, we got...
You and this
that.
royalty thing. We don't even know what clans we come from.
We can make it up. They all made it up anyway, right? It'll be fine.
Maria has like visibly loosened up throughout this conversation, a reminder of the lighthearted joy that made her fall in love with you. She links arms with you. You take her home. And in the memory of the 80s, wherever Wendy ends up on this night where Cerise finds themselves alone, rather alone with Natalie near the laboratory, Jet off in the night, Viridian at their own haven. Wendy, in the present day, on this night where all of your coterie members have sort of dispersed, they're doing their own things. No contact. Oops.
Let's take a quick break.
Let's
Until
take
we
a
get,
second.
yeah, until we take get,
No worries.
Jen back. Looks like Jen is actually back here.
I'm back. I don't
We
know
good?
what happened. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Discord did a thing.
With all your coterie members just sort of scattered to the wind, no conversation, no communication happening between the group chat quite yet, or if you even have one of those. Where do we think that we just find Wendy hanging out at night?
With everybody off doing everything that everybody's been doing, Wendy has been not around. I imagine Wendy is chilling at the shrine while everybody's busy, since they're a little bit more healed and not so reliant upon everybody else at the moment. Hanging out by the tree.
Or when you remember hearing Viridian speak to you a few days ago after being healed. This Maria, this other name, this person from the Ouroboros cult, someone who had apparently given your name or given your location up to Temperance, the cult leader. The words coming from Viridian, one of your coterie members, someone that you trust now, telling you that whoever this Enoch person was, but this Maria person, are gone. How, Wendy, have you been doing
Wendy
with that information?
is not doing good with that information, but I imagine Wendy is sitting there at the tree, just kind of hanging out, and very much going through the life that they had together and all of the good times and how Maria was the only person that was there for her, how they picked out their own names at the orphanage and were just always very close, and how they're just trying to think about what went wrong, and Wendy hasn't thought about it since Maria left their life. So a lot of this is just stuck, falling back into this anxiety loop of okay, what did I do wrong? How could I fix it? How could I have done it better? And just kind of hanging out by the tree, trying really hard not to just let go of control of the situation, very much trying to figure out I could have changed something and this wouldn't have happened. This has to be my fault somehow. And then just at some point just starts breaking down, and 30 years or whatever it is of just the grief that Wendy's been holding on to is finally in the hopes that maybe Maria would change their mind or that something would happen and they would just come back and they would find them, that's gone now. So even though Maria wasn't in their life currently, there's no longer any hope that that would ever happen again. So Wendy's just letting everything out.
Another sort of memory flashing through your mind. The days that Maria said with the car that eventually Ted got her. every Sunday, church. And then every Sunday turned into every Friday and Sunday. Some home sermon going on. And then every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesdays being a certain community service. And then at some point, most of Maria's nights where you would be hanging out, she would be home all the time. She would barely be home. The inkling of Maria's eventual zealotry. Do you think Wendy was aware of how far that she would go?
I think Wendy realized at some point that the person that Maria was no longer that person. And while I think Wendy is a little bit like, oh, I don't think she'd ever hurt me. I don't think anything like that would ever happen. Wendy never also thought that Maria would ever be in church either. So there's that. I think that Wendy is very much like, is trying very hard not to internalize it, right? Obviously, but at the same time can't help it. And so I don't know. I feel like Wendy, with everything that they've been through, you know, after the war and kind of just always being stuck in this fight or flight kind of situation, I don't think Wendy necessarily blames Maria for doing what she felt she had to do to survive in whatever situation that happened to be. And clearly, whatever was happening with her made her feel that selling Wendy out was a good idea. So, I don't know. I guess Wendy's not as angry as she thought she would be if something like this happened. She's more just like disappointed in herself that she wasn't able to help them or fix them. And really, really upset that Jet got caught up in the crossfire of what, because to Wendy, now this is about her. And now she feels responsible that Jet potentially could have gotten hurt and that Viridian and Cerise had to come to the rescue because of something that like this leftover stuff that Maria did that was like, now she feels was her responsibility. And so like I think Wendy starts moving through these emotions of like, I'm really sad that this person is no longer in my life, to this person being in my life caused potentially other people that they have just found to be like in community with to also be potentially put in danger. And now Wendy just feels like a massive piece of shit in this moment. It's just sitting under this tree, like sobbing that like she couldn't protect Maria. They can't protect, like, now their friends might be in danger. And so like it's just Wendy's just having a full-on like ugly cry, like curled up fetal position under the tree, like moments, and just letting it all blah.
Seemingly whenever Wendy your bawling turns into sobbing to crying to the general tears, you get a call on your phone from an unidentified number.
I'll answer it.
At first, there is silence, but there is the sound of someone soft breathing, stalling.
Hello?
Still silence.
Like, whoever this is, I normally I would be okay with this, but now it's just not the time. I'm going through a very hard time right now, and if we could just, if you don't talk, I'm gonna hang up, okay?
A soft voice answers, wait. A pause. It's good to hear your voice. We're gonna transition now over to Cerise. Cerise, where do you find yourself after Jet walks off? You are alone, where you were last. You were alone where Natalie was smiling at you. Where did you end up going?
Cerise saw Natalie smiling at them, gave a very strained, curt smile back, all teeth flashing. I think Jet's blood still dripping off of their mouth and down the side of their neck and on their chest. And they, without a word, I think, just turned and started to walk away. And they at first walked, and then they started to jog, and then they went into a full-on sprint, as much as they can in the not very practical shoes that Cerise tends to wear, towards the local police station.
Did you clean up?
No.
Okay. At this moment, we'll say midnight. There's certainly some people at the precinct, but not a lot, not nearly as much as there were. The lights are mostly down because the public building has now closed, but there are still some lights. Late workers.
Cerise knows where all of the different offices are laid out inside of the precinct. They've been inside so often. So I think instead of going through the front door, Cerise walks around the side of the building outside and tries to locate the window to Eri's office to see if a light is on there, if Eri is inside.
Let's do a funky little roll. Let's see. You can give me an argument for anything. What I am thinking for your ability to maneuver unseen, we can call this dexterity or charisma, we'll say. And what else?
Can I argue that it's a streetwise check?
Sure.
All right, I'll do streetwise charisma. No, I don't. No, I'm trying not to be seen. Never mind. I got 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. Try not to be seen walking around. Would you say you would like to go to a longer route back entrance or a little riskier employee side entrance?
Let's go the riskier route. I think Cerise is looking to do this quickly. They're a little impatient right now. I don't think they have the brain space to take a longer route.
Remind me again, where are you headed?
To Eddie's window to see if the lights are on and if she's inside.
To the window.
Mm-hmm.
I think where you're at, you are able to go to you're sort of where the opposite side of the hallway that you usually end up in when you just kind of walk in. So rather from the hallway that connects to like the front entrance or wherever you usually go from, the side entrance meets the hallway that meets the side entrance. You look farther down, and although Aries' door is all the way at the end of this corridor, or even closer to it. There's a dim light in her office. All the other offices in this hallway are... all the other lights within the rooms of this hallway are down.
Perfect. And Cerise is going to walk. I think if there is nobody else in this hallway, nobody else in this area, the only sound that you can hear as Cerise walks is the click-clacking of their heels as they walk down the hallway, one foot after the other. And they don't bother trying to hide at this point that they are here. And they walk very confidently up towards the window, towards Eri's office. And they look inside. What is Eri doing right now?
Eri is at her computer. The lights are dim. The only lights that she has on is a little office lamp at like the lowest setting, and also her laptop. There are files, although she usually keeps her desk clean and all those things. From this morning or from earlier this evening, it seems as though her desk has got even messier. Her hair is up loosely and just in a completely non-functional hairstyle once more. There's coffee and a knocked over cup on one end. Her trash can is full of iced Americanos. And she's not looking great. But her eye is almost bloodshot with glasses that she usually doesn't wear out most of the time. She is wrapped in what she's doing.
Cerise watches for a few moments, tilts their head, and then they kind of tap their fingers, their long fingernails raking along the glass of the window as they start to walk along the window to the door to Eri's office, and assuming that it's unlocked, is just going to open it and walk inside.
I think a woman who is up late and only focused on one thing at the moment, whatever that is, has foolishly not locked her office door. And you're not being quiet.
No.
Okay. Eddie looks up, squinting. You're sort of silhouetted in the darker side of the room as far as lights goes. Seems to see your general silhouette at this point, where you are closer to the other side of the room. She looks up and immediately just takes her glasses off and covers her eyes and massages sort of the eye bags and the sockets. What are you here for?
Cerise closes the door behind them and leans up against it. Eri, have you ever considered that I love people like you?
I don't need riddles right now, Cerise. What are you here for?
It's not a riddle. I'm being serious. Eri, is that so hard to believe that I might actually enjoy your company in some way?
Well, I hate people like you.
Mm-hmm.
People
exactly.
that decide for me what should happen throughout my day, what I should... What?
See, that's exactly why I like people like you. You hate me. It's kind of hot. Think about it. And Cerise starts to walk closer to Eri. And as they do so, I think the fluorescent lights, I'm assuming that they're fluorescent, inside of this office kind of flashing off of the blood that is running down and kind of stained at this point on Cerise's clothes. very prominent, I think, in this lighting. And they go up to the desk and they put their elbows on it, resting their head, their chin on their hands, and they lean in towards Eddie, close the laptop that she was working on, and kind of like put their body weight up against it. Do you want to play a little game? Take a break from all of this work.
What does Annie see as you close her laptop? And there's the light finally is able to illuminate your face and expression.
Eddie sees Cerise's blue eyes with a glint, with this predatory glint that she has never seen before. She sees Cerise up close, and I think maybe for the first time, she notices Cerise's fangs as Cerise smiles, all teeth, at Eddie.
What game?
Well, why don't you be a mouse and I'll be the cat? Does that sound like fun?
Eddie, with not much grace or swiftness to it, takes out the gun from her holster to the side and just settles her elbow on the desk with her gun right dead center in your face. I like the idea of the opposite, the vice versa.
That's perfect. You're playing the part so well. I love a mouse that fights back. What say you? You can have 5 seconds? Is that good enough for you? Before I come after you.
Eddie finds herself in a haze for perhaps a second too long as she's attempting to piece together at all what's going on. And she's gonna, we'll give the little human a little pity roll. She's heard of vampires before, but I think she's maybe even more familiar with stories about demons. And in front of her at this moment is someone usually so perfect, record so clean for no reason. There were years where she wanted to give you chances. And then Ethan. Give me actually, if you would like, unless you think that you would not focus on anything else, give me a wits awareness to see if you notice what she's been working on.
See, Humna wants to do the role, but
Mm-hmm.
Humna wants to do the role so badly. You're dangling information in front of my face. But no, I'm gonna be true to the character. No, I think Cerise is not paying attention to anything else. They're having too much fun right now.
Okay. Eddie continues to foolishly keep sitting, keep her stance and form strong with her gun in your face. I think this is her negotiation face. There's something brewing in her mind, despite the fact that she has not slept for God knows how long. Is this the day that I finally find out that you've been the one murdering all these cops? That you've been the reason for the disappearance of Ethan? Did you kill the boy?
Oh, I'm hurt. Eddie, no. I didn't hurt Ethan. Ethan is the only one I didn't hurt. But the rest of it. And Cerise, at this point, opens their mouth and I think, like, licks the barrel of the gun. It was a real pleasure to kill them all.
Ethan's brother?
I didn't know it was his brother at the time, but I mean, if Ethan's missing, he's surely not gonna miss his brother.
Eri opens her mouth to say something and withholds. So you're gonna kill me?
Go on. Say what you were gonna say. This might be the
No.
last time you get to say anything. Is this really how you want to end things?
I want to end things if the devil comes forth and decides it is my end. I'd like to end things maybe as much of a fucking bitch as the devil has been my entire life. You don't get to know the things that I've found on my own time, on my own volition, not asking anybody else, outsourcing. If you want to torture it out of me, sure. But I'm tired.
I'm not that pedestrian, and quite frankly, now I'm bored. And Cerise gets up, walks to the door, opens it, and kind of steps out of the way with a flourish. You have 5 seconds. Make them count.
Give me charisma or manipulation, intimidation, or persuasion.
Okay. I'm gonna go with persuasion and with charisma, and I'm gonna add my 3 presence dice and my two pretty dice, so that's 5 extra dice.
Cool.
Please work. I got 9 successes.
Eddie finally seems to get the picture. With a jolt of adrenaline, eyes finally focused, brows furrowing, she takes her gun. She's gonna pick up one of the journals in front of her, and then she starts running down the hall.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And Cerise bears their body and sprints right after Eddie. I think they with the first couple steps that they take, they knock their shoes off their feet so that they have a little bit of an easier time running, and they run after her.
In a beat elsewhere, before we return, we'll come right back. Viridian. At this point, Sturdy is gone. Calliope's still working. Are you still working? Are you still around, or deciding to be awake?
I think after spending many hours with Suri and feeling a little bit more relaxed now, I think Viridian is doing something downtime in their bedroom. Some kind of probably reading. Just some activity that they don't get to do very often, but that they find relaxing.
In another room, away from Viridian, a third view perspective, Calliope sorting through things very casually, gets a text on her phone. Unknown to anyone but Calliope in this moment, Calliope sees Cerise is in trouble. Calliope looks around, suddenly a fear if an unknown number says that Cerise is in trouble, then this is either a trap or something, but it's one that Calliope feels strong enough in her own heart. She's been prepared to have to clean up some of Cerise's mess at some point. She goes, sort of runs up to your room, knocking before she has to open the door out of her own adrenaline. Viridian?
What? I'm at peace. Are you here to disturb my peace?
Yes.
Better be
But-
good.
And she, after like a second of like trying to find out what to say, she like kind of scoots over with her phone in both of her hands, showing you an unidentified number that just says Cerise is in trouble. It's in English. Everything lowercase.
Viridian looks down at it, and I think their facade falters a little. And their brow furrowed, they look back up at Cal and say, "What could this possibly mean?" And like as they say that, they're just like taking a deep breath, like full well knowing that the rest of their night that they had wanted to just relax is now gone. Knowing that Cerise has been making a lot of very rash, shall I put it, decisions over the past couple nights, decisions that Viridian is not happy with. I think inwardly, Viridian is cursing herself for not keeping a closer eye on Cerise and is dreading whatever she is going to walk into tonight to find Cerise in. I think their thoughts are running wild of all the possibilities of things that Cerise could possibly be up to, while at the same time, I think the part of them that is extremely distrustful, she is very curious as to who sent this message as well. And I think Viridian is going to tell Calliope to use her phone to text Cerise, to just say like, what's going on, where are you? And Viridian's gonna go change to go back out.
After a minute passes, but just between the brief exchange that you and Calliope have had, there's a location drop. It is the Itaewon precinct.
Viridian just sighs deeply, and she looks at Cal and just says, "We need to get there. Call a car. We're going." And then maybe a little bit too roughly, Viridian pushes Calliope out of the room so that they can go throw some clothes on. Because I think right now, like, Viridian's just wearing like a nightgown or something.
Yeah. Cutting over back to Cerise, in your sprint, you get a phone message, but do you have any means or ability to receive it?
I have the means or ability. Do I want to? No. I'm busy. I'm playing a game.
The little vibrate or the little jingle that comes from it. Oh well. Please make for me as you are sprinting. A dexterity. This can be brawl or stealth.
I'm gonna go with brawl.
Okay.
Brawl, dexterity. No! Okay, it's a messy critical.
Messy works. You get to her so fast. She's not slept. Her shoes also somehow, I think at this point she's in a strange, like, shoes flying off moment even as you catch up to her. Cerise, whatever the beast is currently saying, whatever sweet thrill is happening, how does the beast go too far as you catch up to Eddie?
I think all this time the beast has been using Cerise's insecurity with their relationship towards Viridian to get them to kill, to get them to be, as Viridian put it, rash. And I think the way that Cerise is currently kind of like toying with Eddie is maybe not fast enough, is not primal enough, is not vicious enough for the beast. And I think maybe some of that impatience kind of comes through, and the beast starts to demand more and more and more and more from them. And at first, I think Cerise listens. Cerise tackles Eddie. Eddie's head, like hitting, I think, like whatever, the ground or something on the way through. And Eddie in this kind of like daze with Cerise on top of her, pinning her down with their knees, with their arms, I think, is hearing the beast with its absolutely terrifying, vicious, animalistic demands.
What is the beast saying
That's
from the beast
right.
to themselves?
That's right. Now, neck. Kill her. Drink her dry. Let her blood nourish you.
And Cerise listens. Cerise will do anything for this Viridian. Cerise will do anything to please this Viridian, to have this Viridian's love and approval, because that is all that Cerise has wanted this whole time. And it's right here. It's right here. It's right underneath me right now. And I think Eddie can see this absolutely manic expression on Cerise's face as there is glee there. There is, it's like Cerise has finally reached the top of a mountain that they have been climbing for a year now. And Cerise leans down and I think at first just like looks into Eddie's eyes and they laugh. And with that laugh, without even any warning, any lead up, nothing, Cerise goes straight for Eddie's neck and starts to feed. Not stopping at all. Draining Eddie absolutely dry, not worrying about whether or not this is painful, whether or not this is clean. None of it. Eddie's blood is likely getting everywhere at this point on Cerise's own body. And they just keep going and going and going.
Would Cerise take any second to see Eddie's last expression before dying?
I think so.
The face of someone who is going to die before they crack a huge code. Disappointment, frustration, sleeplessness. And when she dies, almost as if that face permanently freezes on her face, on her eyes. The gun scattered to the other side of the hall. You are at Hunger Zero. In this precinct, Eddie on the ground. Unbeknownst to you, Cerise, Calliope, and Viridian on their way. Why don't we go ahead and take a break? Let the audience breathe. And we will see you all in approximately 10 minutes. Okie dokie. Welcome back from break. A well-needed one. Again, this is Arc 2 of Itaewon by Night, Episode 6, specifically. Going Crit RPG announcements and reminders. Thank you for 900 followers on Twitch. Incredibly sexy of you. We have a tip menu. So $5 rouse reroll. That will allow the players to take a higher result when it comes to rouse checks. $10 will provide a feeding opportunity to relieve a player of a little hunger, and $20, a flashback will allow one of the players that you decide to rewrite history. Going right back into our events, Calliope is speeding down the highway with you in the car, Viridian. There have not been any other reminders since then. Or rather, reminders, text messages from this unidentified number. Calliope is doing her best to... She, all intents and purposes, is a safe driver, but at this moment she knows that she has to break a couple laws, and she'll figure out what to do with certain cameras and such. But as she's speeding, what is on your mind, Viridian?
I think Viridian is running through all of the worst case scenarios. And also, again, they are very curious as to who sent this text message. And I think they're just trying to mentally prepare themselves for what is to come, because I think Viridian knows as soon as they leave this car and walk into this building, they're going to find something probably bad, and Viridian is dreading that.
Calliope pulls up to the precinct. She kind of looks around, looks at you. Should I park anywhere in particular? Maybe should I drop you off? Kind of do circles, or I don't know what you want. I don't know if I should be here.
Wait somewhere that's not here, and if the cops come, deal with it. And Viridian's gonna get out of the car.
Yeah. She says that, and then you sort of almost telepathically, obviously not telepathically, but you see behind her eyes as she agrees with you, yeah, sure, I'll take care of the cops. She just starts screaming behind her mind. God knows how she'll do that. But you leave her, Calliope drives off.
And Viridian
I'm gonna say... Oh, go for it, sorry.
Oh, I'm just gonna say Viridian's gonna walk up to the front doors of this building, and assuming it's open, they're gonna push the doors open and walk in.
They are not open. It is very after hours of the precinct's public hours, but I think most likely Viridian knows that there are certainly people that would still be in the building, maybe at a different entrance. let's do... For Viridian, we'll just do something really fast check-wise. It doesn't have to be a whole thing. What would you like to use to find Cerise?
I think, like, if Viridian tries the front doors and they're locked, I think they're gonna walk around to the back and see if there's a back entrance.
There is.
And is that one also locked?
It is open.
Okay. Then I think Viridian is just going to walk in the back entrance then. And I think they're also looking to see if there's anyone else here because, I think Viridian's, like, gut senses are tingling. And whatever they find Cerise in, I think Viridian is hoping that there's no one else here. But judging by, their knowledge of how, the police stations work and the amount of cars parked outside, like, they know that there's people in here. And so I think she is hoping that no one else has seen what's happened.
Give me a... I wish my Roll20 would load. Give me a wits awareness to see if you can sense anything off or maybe even sort of suss out certain corridors or hallways. You can give me any attribute, actually, that you want to argue for, but it will be awareness.
Okay. I do think wits is the one.
Okay.
That is a grand total of a 1 success.
Okay. Moving back over to Cerise at the moment. Ares dead. You are covered in more than one person's blood. Give me a wits awareness, Cerise.
Two successes?
You hear someone enter into the building.
I think hearing the sound of somebody entering the building kind of brings Cerise a little bit back to the present, a little bit back to reality, and they take a second to take in everything about the situation, about the fact that Adi is now dead. Down in front of them, they are in the precinct, and somebody is coming. Somebody is coming. Normally when Cerise does this, they don't do it in such a public location, and then Viridian handles things afterwards. So, right. We're gonna have to improvise this time. That's fine. I can do that. I'm a lawyer. We improvise all the time. Right. And Cerise, I think, like, gets up really quickly, like, grabs Adi underneath the like armpits and tries to sling her over one shoulder.
Okay, easy enough. We'll see how this
Cool.
goes, sure.
Cool. They are going to sling her over one shoulder. And with looking at the ground, there's like blood everywhere. And I think Cerise's first instinct is to just like with their foot try and like clean it, like smear it on the ground. Obviously that doesn't really work very well. And so they do that for a second, realize that they're really just spreading it around and making it worse, and they go, right, okay. And Cerise thinks, first thing we need to do is hide the body. Hide myself, hide the body. And so Cerise starts to head back towards the back entrance. Oh wait, no, that is where the sound came from, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, instead Cerise goes to the opposite direction, goes into the front entrance, and tries to find like the nearest supply closet that is in the front of the precinct.
What is your intention with the supply closet? To hide the body or hide yourself as well?
Yes, it is to hide both myself and the body. Actually,
Okay.
I would actually... Bathroom. We're going to the bathroom.
Okay, great. There is a blood trail to the bathroom where you and Eddie's body go into the bathroom. Let's do this one more time. We'll say that somehow Viridian takes a second, maybe goes down one wrong hallway, but maybe he hears something.
Would I not hear this? I have
you
heightened
are
senses.
in kind of. Oh, do you? Wait.
I have
That
heightened
changes
senses.
things.
No.
Do you need to roll anything for that? I think that's free, isn't it?
I think it's free. I don't know. I have a book. It's page 249.
Yeah, it's free.
For free.
I think it's fine. I believe you have to roll wits plus resolve and a
Yes,
couple of
wits
things.
resolve.
I don't.
I'll roll it. We can see. Where's
I think you don't
resolve?
have to,
No?
but you
Okay.
can.
Well, you just get it. You can just hear this. Sarisa's not doing a good job.
There's just like there's clattering, there's like thumping, blood squelches like on a foot.
And so I'm imagining like I walk in the back entrance, there's like probably like small like entrance space or what have you, and I hear sounds coming from the right side, and there's like a pair of double doors or something, and Viridian pushes those open, and sees, I'm assuming, you dragging 80
Fireman style, over the shoulder.
fireman style, and I think Viridian like pushes open the doors, and they like with such force that they clang against the wall, and Viridian just stares at, I'm assuming, your back, and they say, Cerise, what have you done?
At first, Cerise assumes that it's the beast talking to them again, like the first Cerise that comes through. And so they just keep going at that point, assuming that the voice is coming from inside their mind. But then when you speak again and you ask what they've done, that it doesn't quite sound right, and it sounds angry. And that's not the Viridian that they've been talking to all night. So they stop. And they slowly turn to face you. What are you doing here?
I got a text. Said you were in trouble, and I want an explanation. Now.
You told me to do this.
What do you mean?
You told me to do the, well, not you. Do you remember a year ago when you first turned me? And we did those lessons?
Yes.
That you. Well, why are you even here? Anyway, I thought that you were busy tonight.
I was. But now I'm here. Put the body down. Who is this? And Viridian's gonna walk right up to you. And I am, I think, over a foot taller than you, because you took off your shoes. Me and my heels over a foot taller than you. And Viridian gets right up next to you. And they are, like, if you don't move to, like, take the body off of your shoulder, they're gonna try and, like, lay this body down to see who you've killed.
Cerise doesn't comply, so Viridian is going to have to force the body down out of their hands.
Cool.
It's not important. Is that a
Show
meme?
me. And I'm gonna try, and if I need to roll something or roll against you, I will.
No, you managed to get the body down onto the floor, and you can see, I don't know if you recognize Eddie, but you see Eddie on the ground.
Viridian lays this body down on the ground, and they come back up, and their hands are covered in blood, and they pull a cloth napkin, I think, from their suit pocket, and they just start methodically wiping their hands of this blood, and they are just glaring at you, and they say, "I want an explanation now."
Why do you want to know things now, Sajangnim? You haven't been very interested in me or my goings on for a couple days now.
How dare you turn this back around on me? This is a mess that I will have to clean up again because you don't know anything. Viridian takes a chance to just breathe. And breathe in, breathe out. And they look you directly in the eyes, and they say, "For the past couple days, you have made decisions that I do not approve of, but that is not what we are going to talk about today, because your dealings with Miho and your choice to align with the Hino family, those choices are kept within the realms of our society. This, killing this mortal, violent disregard for the sanctity of this masquerade. The first rule that I taught you. The means of our survival. Ceres, how could you betray this? How could you betray me?"
Betray you? All I've ever done, all I've ever wanted is to make you happy.
You think
Sajangnim.
this would make me happy?
It makes
How
the
are we
other
going to
you
cover this
happy.
up?
At
Other-
least that Viridian likes me. At least that Viridian wants me around. I don't even know anymore why you keep me around. Why do you keep me around? If you don't even like me, if you don't even think that I can make my own decisions, you don't trust me.
You have been such a good student up until recently. I don't understand what has changed, Cerise.
That's the problem, isn't it? This isn't recent. Do you know what I've always wanted, Viridian?
No. Why don't you tell me? Apparently I don't.
Why don't you think about it for a little bit? If you're so smart. Sajangnim, think back to a year ago. What did I ask you?
Cerise. Viridian just mumbles that and is genuinely trying to think back to a year ago. But what is a year when you've lived as long as I have? And I think Viridian remembers the night that they turned you. Remembered that there was a fight. The broken glass on the floor, the feeling of this fractured table scraping her knees holding you in their arms, bleeding out, and this split-second decision to embrace you into this life. But I don't think Viridian remembers. And they stand there in silence. And they look back at you. And they say, I do like you. Cerise, you are you're so much more important to me than I think you realize. All of the things that I do for you to protect you make it so difficult. Cerise, do you realize this? All of this, I think they gesture at the blood spilling down the front of your shirt. Every single person that you've killed that I cover up, I don't have to do that, but I do.
Yeah, that's it, right? You like me, but I make it hard. And so hard to love.
I think
At
when
least
you
the other you loves me. At least the beast you loves me. Really loves me. Doesn't think that I'm difficult.
That's the nature of the beast, Cerise. And I think Viridian's voice changes and gets very, very quiet. And they will like look around and just make sure that there's no one else here. So I think Viridian is still the body on the floor, blood everywhere. Like Viridian is really nervous about how much harder this will be to cover up should someone find the three of us here. And they're going to take Cerise by the wrist and try to, assuming like we're in a slightly more open area, just drag you somewhere where there's a little bit more privacy.
Cerise resists, wrenches their wrist away from Viridian. No, I have had it. If you don't want me around, if this is something that is so difficult for you to do for me all the time, then just don't. Just leave me here. I will deal with this myself.
I am not going to leave you, Cerise. I can't just leave you.
You'll be fine. Nobody will pin this back to you if that's what you're worried about. I won't say anything.
That's not what I'm worried about, Cerise. I'm worried about you.
I'm fine.
No, you are not. Look at you. And Viridian's gonna like grab like the front of your shirt. Look at you. Look at this.
Just let me go. Please.
No.
I can't do this anymore.
I care about you so much, Cerise. I do.
Don't lie to me.
And I think Viridian like pulls back a little bit and just looks down at you. And their eyes are welling with tears. I am not going to leave you, Cerise, because
Just
I
go.
love you, Cerise. And I think Viridian's gonna let go of your shirt and they're gonna step back and they just like are rubbing their temples.
Cerise is shocked and frozen in place at that. And Cerise, I think, still crying, because at this point they had been crying throughout this conversation. The tears mixing in with Jet's blood and Aries' blood on their face. They hazard to step forward towards Viridian. You what?
I love you, Cerise. That's why I'm not going anywhere. That's why I do all of this. That's why I stayed. You know how many vampire sires who don't stay? There's so many. But I stayed to teach you these ways to ensure your survival. The night that I embraced you, the night that I gave you the gift of my blood, because I could not bear losing you. I didn't want this for you, Cerise. I told you, I remember, I told you to walk away, and yet you didn't. And I almost lost you. And for this entire year, I have been doing all of these things, hoping that you would be able to learn and embrace this life, this immortality, a curse or a blessing, however you see it. I stayed because I care.
Cerise is going to cut Viridian off mid-sentence and walk up and kiss them.
And when you kiss Viridian, I can taste the blood on your lips. And I think that just makes it all seem that much more euphoric. We do share the same taste, after all. And I think I kiss you for a few seconds, but then I think Viridian pulls away first, and they gesture to the body, and they say, there are other people here, Cerise. What is your plan for this?
Saranghe? Sarangnim. And Cerise kind of looks down at the body, looks up at Viridian. I suppose we should maybe call the rest of the coterie, maybe?
After we clean this up, I don't want to entrench the two of them in this quite literal mess.
Right. You have cleaners, right? Can they come on short notice?
Viridian, you
Viridian's
get a text
size.
message.
Oh, I get, okay. There's a buzz in Viridian's pocket, and they pull out their phone. What does it say?
It is from Cinnabar.
Ah,
And
yes.
all they say is LOL, 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 LOL on it.
No! Oh wait, Calliope. Never mind.
And Viridian will just like show the phone screen to Cerise. And then they turn and look at one of the cameras in the precinct. And they just kind of look towards the camera, and in Korean Sign Language they sign thank you. And Viridian looks back at Cerise and says, I'm not done being mad at you.
That's okay. That's okay.
We will talk later. We need to fix this first. And Viridian's gonna lean down and go to pick the body up. Who is
And
this
I think it's
anyway?
the senior inspector of the Narcotics and Organized Crime Division. And I think at that, when Viridian goes to pick up Eddie, and Cerise sees that face, that expression locked on Eddie from her dying moments, I think it like clicks something in Cerise's brain, and they go, "Oh, one other thing before we leave. Her
Viridian
files.
just so wearily looks at you. What now?
Her files, her computer. I have a feeling that they have something that is going to be important to all of us."
Go get him.
Okay, I'll be right back. And Cerise goes to Eddie's office and tries to gather as many things as they can, laptop, any actual physical files on two cases. One being the disappearance of Ethan, and the other being the murder of the student, Kangmin, that we have been investigating this whole time.
Are you taking all of it? You said like just everything, attempting to take everything in her room, or are you attempting to like quickly investigate what you can pick up that is relevant?
I am trying to investigate what is relevant before picking it up, but like quickly. So like I'm probably doing a very, very cursory, like, does this look relevant? Sure, kind of thing. So not taking everything, but yeah.
Give me an intelligence. You can do your academics because you have a research specialty, or
Do I?
honestly,
Oh, I
whatever,
do.
investigation or whatever.
I'll do investigation. You said it was intelligence?
Yep.
Okay. One success.
Okay. I think at first glance, obviously, a lot of her notes are the notes of a sleepless woman. Easy enough. You see, I think you pick up the journal that she had when she ran away, her laptop, and like the bigger folders, maybe like manila like folders that she has. And as far as actual content, I think you do see Ethan's name.
Cool. All of it grabbed, walking back to Viridian. Arms full of laptop and file folders.
Arms full of dead body. We're gonna walk out the bag, I guess.
Okay. Presumably you let Calliope know that Calliope is aware at this point that a speedy exit needs to be made.
Yeah.
Pulls up, gets the trunk opened.
And I think very effortlessly, Viridian places the body into the trunk. I think it is worth noting that Viridian does this gently, which is an interesting choice, I think. And they close the trunk and turn to Cerise, this napkin covered in some blood, and they will use it to wipe some of the blood off of Cerise's face. It doesn't do a very good job, but it gets some of it off. And then they just wordlessly kind of like flick the napkin and they fold it back up and they get into the car. And they will scoot over down the seat so that Cerise can get in.
And Cerise, with everything in hand, will kind of slide into the back seat. We'll give Cal a smile. Very
Oh.
friendly smile for once. And yeah, we're just gonna drive wherever we're going.
I think like the last thing that we hear as the car drives away is Viridian just mumbling under their breath. Cannot believe no one else walked in on that.
Okay. It is the next day. But rather than it being absolute nighttime, Jet, I think when you wake up and you realize that it's morning,
Jet
what
did not
happens
sleep.
in your realization?
Jet
Got
did
it.
not sleep. Yeah.
Got it.
Jet. I think after the incident, Jet panicked, and I think what he did was definitely he took probably the heaviest rock he can find, and secured Kevin's. Actually, a good question. What happened to Kevin's body? Did Kevin turn to ash? Did Kevin stay as a corpse? Like,
Kevin
what
turned to
is-
ash.
Okay. So if that's the case, he definitely covered all in blood. He took the back streets back to the apartment. I think he first took probably one of the longest showers ever taken. Not because of all the blood. There was a lot, but more so of his absent-mindedness. And I think mainly he waited for the sunrise. Whether or not he believes that like it would bring him his end, I think that's his first move, is just he needed something to level him. So he waited for the sunrise on a balcony in his apartment.
Grave intentions for Jet. Although maybe there being the slight wind that continues to just go past your ear for whatever reason, almost the sound of a whisper. As some of the autumn wind flies by you, whether or not something tells you that being on the balcony is a good idea, whether or not it is you wanting to stay out here, wanting to see what happens. When the sun rises, nothing happens to you.
And whether it's some form of relief or some form of baffled response, he just stays outside looking at the sunrise. And I don't even think that he notices anything outside of like the blaring traffic that is beginning because of the the start of people's days. I think he takes a cigarette from Jesse's stash, and he hasn't smoked in years because he knows there's nothing can do. Nothing. It does nothing for him. But he takes a drag, kind of a callback to when he was still human. And trying to assess things and what just happened.
The door begins to open. The famous sort of jingling of the many keychains on Jesse's keyring, probably coming back home from maybe another job that she has on top of the tattoo parlor. You've showered, you've cleaned up. She looks around. Oh yeah.
Although, as Jet has showered all the bloody clothes, his blood-stained boots are by the door. The blood-stained clothes are not picked up from the bathroom. The bloody towel that he used to dry him is probably on like a. There is a trail, definitely.
Got it. Jesse, your roommate, your friend, although you sort of hear her moving things and looking around, follows the blood trails to the balcony. Jet? How are you?
Normally it burns a little bit, but not today. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, man, what has been happening lately? I haven't been seeing you. I know with Ken, there's a lot of. Hey, come inside. Come here. And then Jesse just sort of takes you over to either a kitchen table, some kind of sofa, just gets you sitting down. Jesse, your American friend, heavily tattooed, has her own tattoo parlor in Itaewon, a private studio. You've helped her a ton, as she's helped you. She looks over you, attempts to assess anything, but she figures that there's nothing that she sees immediately. Whose blood is this? What happened?
I think I fucked up. Jesse, I think I fucked up.
Okay. In like an irreparable kind of situation, or something that we can do?
I don't know. This was even worse than the first time. I've never been so hungry before. I've never been pushed that far. I think I killed someone. I know I killed someone. I drank them try, but he wasn't human. He was one of us, and I guess things are okay elsewhere. This would have been frowned upon, but I can't get the image out of my head. I can still see his face whenever I close my eyes. Sickening iron, taste of copper. I ate what I can in the fridge. I washed it all down with my My formulas, I don't know what happened.
Okay. What can you walk me through of the night? What pushed you?
There was this girl.
Okay, stop. Where
It's
okay,
not
keep
like that.
going, actually.
Jesse, we can do things. Not only to humans, but to each other. And I think, I don't know, maybe they did something to me. I can't help myself around them. All I can think of is for them to just go at me. Not drain me, but for some reason the feeding felt insanely good. Passionate, even. I can't explain it.
Is this somebody that we're trying to avoid from now on, or what? What?
I don't know. I don't know if Anne. We're working on something together, and it's quite complicated. The politics of it all. I try to keep you out of it as much as I.
Man, you know, I'm thankful for that sometimes, but this is literally
Look,
this thing got you to kill someone.
I know. I want to tell you everything. I want to bring you into the fold as much as I can. But my fear is seeing my hands wrapped around your neck again when I didn't want to. So I honestly don't know what to do right now. I don't know how I can be outside right now. Maybe this was something that Kevin could have done.
Kevin.
He was
Isn't
another dealer.
Damn, you killed Kevin. Huh?
I didn't want to. But it's neither here or there. The body's gone. If anything, people would have thought that he just ran away because he got scared. He was trying to replicate my drug, and he was trying to sell, but he was doing something different with it. So many things are happening, and you start to see Jet just crumple into himself from all the stress. He starts shaking, not violently, but there is some form of anxiety that is outwardly expressed. I don't know what to do. Jesse, I've done some really crazy shit, but I've never killed anybody before.
I mean, damn, dude. I've let some pretty faces ruin my life before, but it's never. Okay. Is this something that we have to make some kind of plan to get out of? I know you are pretty entrenched in the city, but is in some way you can get out of this thing? The meeting or whatever it is?
I guess we just have to finish this job and then...
Is there anything I can do in the day? I have no idea.
I think I don't think there is any I can do. I can't do anything. I'm glad that I can go outside in the sunlight now without hurting, and I can probably protect you more. You know, you're like a sister to me. I just don't want you to be in danger for this dumb shit that fucking David put me in.
All right, well, I don't know. Do you need to sleep? Do you need to get anything? I mean, sleeping on some heavy information at the very least. However you can reset yourself, maybe get out of your head a little bit. Maybe we can get a fresh start at the very least. If there's nothing we can do right now, I don't know, any decision, you know?
Yeah. No. I do need you to tell you the things. There's a lot more things going on, and you might be affected a little bit. And Jet proceeds to tell them about, like, the meeting with the Hinos, the meeting with the Min family. This all pertains to Jesse, as a lot of what Jet has had and put into Jesse's business came from these. And at the end of that conversation, I think Jet probably, like, kind of put what happened with Kevin in the back of his mind right now. And I think he kind of puts up in the front of his mind, I think I need to do something with Hino.
What kind of something?
Something risky. Something I just did. Look, if I want to give the lives that we all have, you, me, and Kyun, we want to keep that. I think I need to figure out something, this guy. And I might have to talk to Rie about this.
Is this the first time you're saying the names to Jesse, by the way?
N's name, definitely. Rie,
Okay.
Rie, I think, has met Jesse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think in passing. Never hung out, but in passing.
Okay. Not only do you have the top MILF real estate agent of Itaewon in your sort of back pocket at this point, you also have the Japanese Yakuza man. There's sometimes I want to be more involved in what's going on, and there are other times where I'm just like, thank fuck. I have no idea what's going on sometimes.
Not gonna lie. Seeing that sunset and doing what I can do felt amazing.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I've seen you awake, in the morning since, God, who knows?
But I can't, I wouldn't really wish anybody this life. But Do you still do yoga? Do you- Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I need something to forget.
I do Pilates now, man. I go to some just lady's house. She has like a whole setup.
Do you have an appointment today?
No, I'll call her. Whatever. Let's get you out your head.
Yeah. And Jet goes to Jesse, hand over the shoulder, and kind of winces a little bit because he remembers the image of trying to strangle Jesse. But he pushes past it and gives Jesse a really tight hug.
Yeah. Big hug.
And he just like lets go and says, I'll figure whatever that is tonight. Let's go. Let's have a morning.
Yeah, let's do that. I think Jessie goes to her room. She's getting some things sorted. While you were waiting for the sun set, were you checking your phone at all?
No. But now I'm probably going to pick up like the clothes, see my phone finally.
You have about 5 missed calls from Rie. Just sort of spanning all throughout the night.
My initial reaction is to call them back, but then I realized it's morning. I will set up a reminder as soon as sundown to give them a call back.
Okay. Because it is a new day, as everyone settles throughout the day. Actually, Jet, is there anything that you do until nighttime when your coterie approximately would start?
I think
browsing?
after the whole Pilates thing, I think Jet's body is still used to the kindred clock. So
yeah.
He probably is dead during the day, and as soon as he rouses, he's gonna make the phone call. I will do my rouse. The 7.
Everybody give me your rouse checks.
Oy. Rouse.
Wendy, take a hunger, please.
Still at
Series
0.
success. 0.
I'm also still at 0. Hey yo.
I'm still at 0.
Okay. Jen, I don't think your hunger track is right?
I don't think that's right either.
Yeah, okay.
I was
cool.
about to say, I was like, wait, is Wendy
Yeah.
at 4?
No, it's gotta be like 3, I think, because she drinks out of a bag.
Yeah, right. You're always at the very least at 1.
Yeah.
So Jet, you're just now browsing. You're just rising. To cut back over very quickly to Wendy, to come back from that cliffhanger I left you on. That was a call. And to roleplay it a little bit. After the voice says, "It's nice to hear your voice," what do you say?
Okay. Could I have a reminder as to who this voice belongs to, please?
There's some rustling, almost the sound of like hair being pushed back. There are some things I have to make sure that this is safe. But Enoch is definitely dead. And I'm still around. I can't
And-
explain anything.
Wendy like drops the phone and just like kind of like stops, looks at it, looks up at the sky, like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. I just cried so much over this. And then like, then starts like, okay, this is okay, and picks the phone back up and goes, yeah, should we you sold me out, you bitch. I'm
She
mad at
sighs.
you.
You should be mad at me. I understand that. I don't know. When you survive after being burned alive, well, I guess not burned alive technically. There's so much to explain, but I can't. Reach me back from this number
Huh?
in a few days.
Few
3,
days.
exactly.
Oh, okay, so let me get this straight. You're going to sell me out, get me almost killed, disappear after disappearing again, pretend you're dead, call me, and then say, check back with me in a few days? Honestly?
Wendy, this is exactly the type of shit that you did 30 years ago. So
Is this 30 years ago?
maybe not pretending to die, but
Yeah, I don't think I did that.
I wanted to hear your voice. And if you want me to disappear forever, I can right now, but I'm just telling you, I'm alive.
Ugh, come on, you know I... Okay. A few days. Who else knows you're alive?
Ted.
Of course, Ted. Of course, Ted. Have you been talking to Ted? Now is not the time.
I mean,
Ted?
if you want to get mad at another person, Ted got me your number.
Fucking Ted.
Have you been talking? I want to talk to you. I want to have a full conversation, I know. But I need to make sure that this is safe in the first place.
Okay. Okay. Not a lot of people like you right now. I don't actually think it's very safe for you anywhere at the moment.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, since Mr. Ted is inserting himself into all of our business yet again, maybe we can meet somewhere. I don't want to say his house, but if it has to be, or else okay, give me, yes, days. Are you safe? Are you okay? Clearly you're not dead, so there's that.
I've been hiding. And I literally just confirmed Enoch is gone. So, maybe...
I never really liked him.
Don't say that.
I mean, if I had to pick between the two. Anyway, that's not the point. Okay. Give me a couple days. How did you... You know what? Doesn't matter. Give me a couple days. I will reach back out at this number. Let's find a safe location to meet. Because... And just, like, stay safe. Okay? And Jesus Christ. Sorry. I don't know if that's offensive still. But... I'm glad you're not dead, for what that's worth, I guess. Although I am still kind of mad at you that I almost died. But we can talk about that later. So yeah, okay. I'm gonna make a phone call. I'm gonna call you later.
I'll see you later, Wendy.
Okay. Yeah. And then I think Wendy would call Jet.
Is this the next day or still the night, like the same night?
This would be the same night at this point, unless Wendy calls
Text.
Jet again.
I would probably text Jet, actually. Wendy would probably text Jet and be like, I need chocolate ASAP.
Unfortunately, that night you didn't get it.
That's fine. I imagine he's probably busy doing that stuff.
Actually, it's weird because, like, I feel like out of the whole coterie, the only person that he would, like, immediately text back is Wendy.
But you know, the world's falling apart right now, so that would make sense. Right.
Just say you hate me, Jed. It's fine.
No!
But I imagine Wendy would do that. So. And then when Jet didn't respond, she would just go back to curling up in her little ball, except now she's just fucking mad. Like, what the hell? I just had emotions, and I let them happen, and for no reason now. So, that's fun. And just, like, go back to, like, curled up under their tree.
Now, we will go into the new day. Everyone awake. Where do we find Cerise and Viridian?
If it's okay with you, Viridian, I think perhaps in your bed.
That is fine with me.
Cerise stayed over at Viridian's house that night, and was particularly close to Viridian, I think.
Calliope made a quick job of changing the sheets and like getting new things out so that Cerise smell is not quite there.
Wait, hold on. I need to know if that was successful or not, whether or not Cerise noticed. Just for funsies. I won't do anything about it. I just want to know.
Sure. I think Calliope being she is dexterous and stealthy when it matters. When it doesn't
I am
necessarily
taking the reins. I'm the GM now. Roll Calliope. Roll for me.
Okay. Oh, me?
I'm
Okay,
the GM
cool.
now. I'm rising up against our storyteller.
Roll housekeeping.
0 successes.
Roll housekeeping. Wait,
0?
what? 0?
0
Bruh.
successes.
Okay, cool.
I'm telling you, when it does not matter, she is a clunky. She's holding a bunch of blankets and like go running down the hall.
Can I so I think like that night we walk in. Perhaps we showered together, but we walk into the room and I think like Calliope's like trying to be stealthy about this, but I think like even if Calliope was just changing the sheets for whatever reason, I think all of Surti's gifts are still sitting on Viridian's nightstand, and there's a bunch of stray how shall I put this, implements scattered around the room that Calliope has not gotten to picking up yet.
No.
Cool.
Just the sheets.
Cool.
Yeah.
Normally, Cerise would be very upset by this and would make some sort of snide remark, but I think tonight they are quite happy and to just, it's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, and I
They
think
are not going to say anything about it.
We fell asleep, and big spoon, little spoon. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
Okay. That's where we find the two of you. Wendy, this is a new day now. Where do we find you / do you do anything?
Wendy is probably still... Now, Wendy is back... hasn't really left depression mode, now back in depression mode. So I imagine Wendy is just staring at their phone in the grass under the tree, just waiting, hyper focusing on Jet to text them back because they need chocolate and they're upset and they really just want to talk to somebody, and obviously they can't talk to Viridian or Cerise right now because it's conflicting. So Jet's probably the safest bet at the moment, and so they're just laying there staring at their phone waiting for it to buzz.
Do you ever get back to messaging Wendy, Jet?
Yeah. Is Wendy outdoors?
Under a tree.
Okay. Is that where you spent the night? Is my
Yeah.
question.
You would die, Wendy. So I think at some point you.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably went into the shrine, slept in there, came back out.
Yeah. You went into the
You
shrine
would
even.
die.
Incredible. That's still an active crime scene, but no worries. It happens.
And it was
Wendy's
comforting.
baiting out the killer, trying to get the
Listen.
killer to come
Yeah,
back.
it's all good. There's like a little. It's fine. There was a pillow in a corner. I was
I
hiding
think-
behind a big pot. It's all good.
I think definitely after Jet woke up, Jet definitely messaged Wendy. Basically, it's like, oh, sorry, rough night, new message. Where are you? I'll come to you. New message. I'll get you your chocolates. New message. Send me a pin, and I'll be there soon.
Wendy doesn't want Jet to know that Wendy's been pathetic and hanging out in the shrine all night for no reason. So Wendy's gonna go home and then text Jet and be like, "Yeah, I'm totally just at my house. Been here the whole time. Like, can stop by whenever."
Then you just get a reply. Okay, driving over.
Cool.
But before I drive over, I will call back Rie. I'll probably
Yeah.
while I'm prepping this like basket for like basically getting like Wendy's stuff. I'm definitely on the phone trying to reach Rie.
Rie responds. When she like picks up the phone, when she responds, it is with like a very kind of half panic of like maybe she was, certainly the 5 missed calls indicating some sort of like worry. Kid, are you good?
Yeah. Just a rough night. You called. 5 missed calls is really unusual for you. What's going on?
Okay. Maybe there's some over exaggerated some of that. God. It might not even. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to have this call with you. I'm not even sure, but.
What's wrong? You can tell me anything.
I know. I feel like sometimes that's the problem. You can't let Cerise go through with that deal.
With N?
My dad.
Yeah, definitely. Of course not. Why would... I get... Yeah, I get it. No, honestly, I did some thinking. I think I have an idea of how we can take care of that.
I am all ears at this point. I am so fucking desperate. It's just... What's your thing?
And for the benefit of the viewers, Rie doesn't know this, but Jet looks over to a centrifuge, and it's filled with these kind of glow sticks. And after packing up for Wendy, he walks over and says, I think I got some new toys that can take care of your dad. No problem. And
Okay, now what does that mean?
And he takes one, he looks at it. I don't know. I guess I guess I'm all sunshine today. While he kind of shakes this kind of like vial, kind of like glow stick. And for effect, you see a flash outside of everything after you hear a click of a cracking of a glow stick. And he says, no, things are going to be fine. We'll take care of it. At the end of this, I think the head of the Hino family will be you once we're done.
Is this all code for basically we gotta meet up where there's not phones involved or something?
Maybe. I don't know. I feel different. I feel like I can do anything today. But yeah.
Okay.
Look. I gotta meet a friend, but we'll settle this. We'll run the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I can't wait to get on the same page as you, because right now I'm glad you're feeling something. I hope your friends. I hope I hope they are responsive to.
Yeah, I'll try to talk to Cerise. Winces a little bit. Yeah, well,
Are you gonna see them today?
I could.
Maybe ASAP. You know.
Okay. All right. And it's like, yeah, I'll message them right now, and I'll try to talk them down from it.
Okay. I'm gonna go scream. I'll see you later.
All right. Jet has like these vials, and I'll just make a check. I'll just make an alchemy check to see if these are good or duds. First one, yes. Second one, yeah. So for the first one, I got 3 successes. The next one, I got 7 successes.
Oh, perfect. I believe we're on the same page, Jet. But what are these glow sticks? What are they full of?
It's a pocket full of sunshine.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. So, at some point, Jet, you meet up with Wendy. Is there also the intention to group up?
Yeah, I messaged them. I messaged the rest of the group text, heading to Wendy's. Got a call from Rie. Need to talk about the deal. ASAP.
What are the
And-
text responses like? We got emojis going. What's up?
Oh my god. I think Cerise kind of like lazily like rolled over in the bed, and like when they heard their phone buzzing, looked at it like half awake. Just kind of one-handedly texted some sort of affirmative reply. There's some typos up the wazoo because they're using their offhand. And they send it. But vaguely you can understand that yeah, they're coming.
Okay. You do the eggplant.
Sure, why not?
Amazing. Cool.
I think Viridian has already woken up, and I think when Cerise wakes up, they can hear Viridian like in the bathroom getting ready for tonight. Tonight's events, you know, another totally normal night where nothing bad is gonna happen. Yep. And Viridian's phone, I think is still like on the bedside table, and it dings, and I think Viridian just like calls out from the bathroom to Cerise, and they just say, "What's that?"
It's Jet. He wants us to meet up. Wants to talk about the Actually, wait, Jet, do you specify that you want to talk about the deal?
Yeah.
He wants to talk about the Hino deal.
And you hear Viridian just laughing to themselves, and they come back to the bed, and they pull the curtain open a little bit wider, and Viridian is like half dressed, and they just look at you and they say, "I think I don't know what he wants to talk about, but we need to talk about this deal that you made too."
Well, we might as well all do it as a group then. Efficiency and all that. And while we're at it, Cerise, I think, gets up out of the bed and pulls together all of the materials that they had gathered from Aedes' office and put it into their own briefcase. Snap it closed. Might as well talk about all this too.
Yes. And Viridian just kind of like nods, and they turn 45 degrees or 90 degrees, and they walk back to, yeah, exactly like that. They walk just back to the bathroom without saying any other words. And I think it's like clear to Cerise that Viridian is still upset, but I think Cerise can tell that a weight has been lifted off of Viridian's shoulders. Even though she is still upset.
Wendy just sends a thumbs up.
And we'll say, just at some point, all of you are able to meet up again at Viridian's, presumably.
I texted
Or-
them I was heading to Wendy
Oh, got it.
to
Okay.
get a baked potato and a frosty.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're gonna see Wendy's place for the first time then.
Yeah.
What is your little underground apartment looking
So
like?
Wendy lives in a very underground basement apartment, and for the viewers that may not know, there are tons of like lower income subset of apartments that are literally underground, to the point where every time it rains a lot or during like monsoon season, it will just flood. So Wendy has like tables, which normally she wouldn't have, because why have tables, but they're like higher than normal tables because she's tired of replacing all the things in their apartment every time it rains. But it's very like simple. There's like, it's a studio, there's like one somewhat big bed in case they get lonely, which doesn't really happen often because they don't really like people. So in the room, and just the clean clothes pile, the dirty clothes pile, like the jacket strewn over the desk chair, with like their laptop that they never use unless they absolutely have to. So it's just kind of like dusty over in that corner. And then a little like kitchenette, which just has nothing in it except for a mini fridge with blood bags, and then a regular fridge with blood bags in the drawer underneath, but then some random regular food in case like Ted comes over or something and needs actual stuff, which doesn't happen often either. So everything in Wendy's fridge is probably just bad. And yeah.
Everyone converges. I'm not sure how many of you have actually seen this type of housing, actually. Maybe Jet. It's almost a confusing, like, where is it? But it is indeed Wendy's underground living. They pile in. Do you invite them? Do you invite everybody into your house?
So, like, Wendy is panic cleaning.
Yes.
And hence the thumbs up. Like, you want to, shit. And, like, throws her phone, gets out of depressy, like, I'm gonna lay on the floor like a blob mode, and just starts, like, shoving shit into corners because it's all she has. So, and then starts, like, freaking out because, like, there's nowhere to sit. Because, like, where is Viridian gonna sit? Viridian needs to sit somewhere. What's gonna happen? Oh, God, they're gonna judge. And so then just tidies him up, like, notices the jacket on the chair, throws it into, like, the corner. Okay, there's a chair. All right, now I need another chair. Like, tidies up the bed a little bit, like, moves the piles around, and then, like, I imagine that when Jet just, like, opens the door, because Jet can just, like, let themselves in, that it's just, like, Wendy's, like, mid, like, arms holding just a bunch of crap that was on the floor that she just picked up as a pile, and just like turns around and looks at them all and is just like, hey, welcome to my room, house, and just like throws it and like and then like points to the chair and is like, Viridian, you can sit if you'd like. I cleaned a chair for you. And just like it's all like.
And I think Viridian is doing their best, doing their darndest to keep their face neutral. I don't think Viridian's ever been here. I think Wendy's always come to my penthouse, might I add, and so they are trying. She is trying her best to appear neutral. I think they are successful in the face. But I think as they walk in, you can see Viridian's hands just kind of like doing one of these, and they sit down, they unbutton their suit jacket, and they just like cross their legs at the ankles and place their hands on their lap, and they just nod a thanks for the chair. And they're kind of like looking around your room like, pretty much, damn, bitch, you live like this.
And like I imagine that Wendy is kind of excited because as an orphan, right? She's always heard the stories of like what it's like to have like a mom, and like has never had a mom, and is like kind of like Viridian's like the parental figure of the group to Wendy specifically. So like Wendy is like kind of like, yeah, like, okay, like, she's disappointed. Maybe that's cool. This is good. This is how it's supposed to be. And then like just starts like offering people blood bags that you know. Would you like a blood bag? Because that's what else would you do anyway?
Can't.
Right.
You all are noticing that Jet's demeanor is kind of different. He still has the same posture, but you notice that his skin, with like the same flush, has like kind of like underneath the collar you see like a little bit of like kind of like veins, and you see that his eyes have like bags where there were none before. So Jet he looks, there's something different to his aura as you see.
Cerise, I think, maybe like notices that. And when we all kind of pile in, they come up to Jet. They bump him on the arm with their elbow. Had a long night? You look like hell.
I actually feel fantastic. And not to dismiss Cerise, he keeps things curt and kind of short. Like, things are fine. And just gives a nod, and it heads over to Wendy with the chocolate and the formula. And it's like, yeah, sorry I missed your text. It was a rough night. Things are fine. Here you go.
Thanks. I also rough night. Normally I wouldn't text you like that, so I apologize. And Wendy like takes like a piece of chocolate, pops it in her mouth, offers one to Jet, like she always does.
I just like show them like a lollipop, a blood lollipop. Like,
And then throws the rest in the freezer. And I was like, so we need to meet, right?
yeah. This deal with Hino can't happen.
You got a reason for that? Don't you work with the Hino family?
I work with Rie.
Rie Hino.
I don't really care for her old man as much. And I kind of like how things are right now in the city, so kind of want to keep it that way. And N seems like he wants changes around. So if it's all right with you, I was hoping to take care of that.
I'm surprised, Jet. I thought you hated the Min family.
Oh,
I thought you would prefer us working with the Hinos rather than the other option that we had.
oh well. I'm planning to do something about the Min family as well. Don't you worry about that. But let's focus on N and whatever deal he wants to offer. Because I'm pretty sure that
Dang.
Viridian wouldn't want anything happen to you.
Excuse me?
N can't be trusted. So if Cerise makes a deal, I'm not really sure what'll do.
Viridian just kind of folds their hands in such a way that I think Cerise knows that like they mean business. Like they're full business mode now. And they say, Cerise, I, as I'm sure you've guessed, am not happy with the deal that you made, and if you, Jet, have a solution to this, I am more than interested in hearing it. The Hinos, or should I say N Hino specifically, he's desperate for anything, and I do not believe he will be able to deliver on anything. Anything at all.
And this is why my plan is to put Rie in power. So we know that we're safe. One less family
I like
to root.
her.
Right.
Would Rie be able to offer the same information that her father offered up. That's kind of important to me.
Suddenly. Is there anything that you keep around as far as knickknacks goes, Wendy, in the house? Anything that could fall over?
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton of clutter, hoardy shit in there that
Okay.
she's collected.
Let's say just some, like a salt shaker, some just sort of like piece that could fathomably be on your little kitchen table,
Yeah.
gets tipped over towards the direction of the briefcase, or wherever, Cerise, you currently have the briefcase.
I think it's like by Cerise's side. I imagine Cerise maybe like made themselves very comfortable, went and sat on the edge of Wendy's bed, and so it's just kind of sitting at the foot of the bed on the floor. Is your apartment like tilted or something?
I don't know. At this point, nothing surprises me, honestly.
Let me just. Oh, thanks. And Cerise will kind of like pick up the briefcase and just kind of like, if it was like close enough, if any of the salt had managed to get onto the briefcase, they're gonna just kind of like brush it off, and with that, they're gonna like put it in their lap and say, in addition to what you wanted to talk about, Jet, this deal, I think it's important as well to mention, and they kind of like put their hands on the briefcase and like drum their fingers on it. I have some information as well that we should discuss.
Whoever sees this, but definitely Cerise, you see the salt shaker gets tilted back up and upright.
Okay. Wendy, is this supposed to be some kind of magic trick that you're trying to use to impress us, or?
I mean, I haven't had a mudang do a cleansing in a while, but
I'm sorry, what?
I haven't had a cleansing done in a while.
Why would you need one of those?
Because basement apartments are, people die in them a lot. It's fine.
You're
Don't worry
telling
about
us this place is haunted?
I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm not saying it maybe. I don't know. Things happen.
I don't know if this would work, but I've finally spent all my experience and I upgraded a little thing, and so now my commands do not require eye contact. And I think Viridian notices the salt shaker do its like little thing, and she's just like squinting in that direction, and I think even Viridian, I don't know if Viridian would know if this would work or not, but I think they just all of a sudden just say, "Show yourself," and I'm using my compel command to see if this would work.
Do you need to roll anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's dominate. Let me turn to the page real quick. It is a charisma dominate versus intelligence and resolve.
Charisma. What is it? Sorry.
I roll charisma and dominance, and then you roll for whatever this is, intelligence plus resolve.
Okay. Two successes.
7 successes.
Okay. The salt shaker just kind of, it gets like just scooted just very shortly, and then it just like goes all the way to the briefcase, touches it again. After a beat, the salt shaker rises into the air and just kind of shakes around and then just puts it back down.
Cerise, when the salt shaker got close to them, I think just like scrambled backwards further into the bed, like up against the wall, and is like, okay, Wendy, I think maybe it's time to get you a different apartment. My place is big enough. You can come stay with me for now until we find you somewhere else to live.
That's never happened. That's never happened before.
Huh. Yeah. Why does it keep touching the briefcase? And Cerise will open
Yeah,
The
Viridian was
briefcase.
gonna tell you to open it.
and look inside. Is there anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing as of yet, but Cerise, this won't be a difficult roll, but I want you to do kind of like a cursory sort of glance, and I want to see how much that you will get just by a very quick glance. So give me intelligence or wits plus academics or investigation.
I got 1 success for a investigation wits investigation.
I will give you this. Moving some things around, there's a big headline. Some sort of unofficial newspaper, some sort of, you're not exactly sure what it is. You know that these papers are about Ethan. We'll say even there is a manila folder file with like a label made on the envelope that has Han Sung-hyun's name. The headline that you see has 2 words. Second Inquisition. And that's where we're going to end today.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
I believe so. I believe so. All right, everybody. My name is Josephine. I have been your storyteller for today. I'm at Scary Dog Friend. My plugs is I'm here. I'm over at Girls Run These Worlds, Bad House RPG, Monster Fuckers Anonymous. Lots of new things. Welcome to the new year. Welcome to continued chaos. I'm gonna pass it over to Youngles.
Hi, I'm Youngles. I play Wendy. Wendy, who has a lot of conflicting things happening right now. You can find me at Jen Geeky on Twitter. I have a one-shot happening on Friday for First Fridays on Insight Check's channel. I have another show starting this month, and then another recording, but I don't know if I can talk about it. And then on Crossroads Games, Outbreak season started, and I'm also in the new season for that. So yeah, just follow me on Twitter, see all the fun things I do. And I'll pass it to Hamna.
Yes, hi, hello. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects I'm a part of. I'm on a lot of different APs right now, so Twitter is the best place to know where I am at any given point in time. The next stream that I will be on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on VO_Cologne's channel. That's VO_COLON, where we are going to be playing the Mythic Initiative, which is a Monster of the Week campaign where we, the players, are the monsters of the week. It's great. It's wonderful. I play the literal child, one of the children of the devil, the former harbinger of the apocalypse. My brother just stole that power from me, so I'm gonna go kill my brother. So if you want to watch me kill my brother, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Jay.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. I use they, them. I'm on Twitter at Nalawoo and at Naladraws if you want to see my artwork. I am an illustrator and art director working full-time in tabletop RPGs. Happy New Year, everyone. What an episode. Holy shit. I do this show on Mondays, alternating Mondays. I am on Divine Intervention on Exquisite Corpse Presents, where I play Rasbeth Move, who is an immortal mob boss and the manifestation of wrath. And on the other Mondays, I'm on another stream, which is going to be announced soon, but it's going to be on Paradise's channel, and it's going to be a real fun time. Besides all of that, the best place to keep up with all of my stuff is Twitter, and what else? Every other social media I might have is going to be at Knowledge Draws. That includes TikTok and Hive and wherever else we might end up if Twitter keeps doing what Twitter do. But yeah, that is me. Thank you for coming. Gonna pass it to Fabs.
What's up? I'm Fabs. I'm mad. I am Fabs. I'm producer, GM, overall, do it all here at Going Crit. You can find me at Rockets and Pens. No shows for me other than this so far, but just started a new channel called Bad House RPG. Check that out at Bat House RPG on Twitter. We're actually doing a casting call for Visigoths versus Molgoths. You get to play with me and the Space Chamber. So yeah, check it out. We will have our announcements for programming on Going Critical soon enough. We're just like ironing everything out. Check us out on Twitter, Going Crit RPG. Yeah. Back to you, Joe.
I'm gonna go preheat my oven now. Bye.
Bye.